Okay, so today, well, we got this monitor here. This is a 500 hertz gaming monitor, and I've been using it strictly for gaming. No editing, no browsing, no productivity talk, just hours of shooters and competitive matches and fast camera movements. So the real question is simple. Does 500 hertz actually matter when you are playing games? Oh, let's find out, because this is the AOC AGON Pro AG276QKD2. It's a 27-inch 1440p QD-OLED panel built around one big idea: maximum response. And hear me out, because on paper, that 500 hertz number sounds ridiculous. 500 refresh per second. But specs only matter if they change the experience. So let's talk about what this is actually like to live with as a gamer. Because the first thing you notice is not the refresh rate, it's the OLED. Black scenes are actually black. There's no glow in the dark corners, grey hazes, and in competitive shooter, that separation makes the difference. Enemies stand out a little bit more clearer against the darker backgrounds, and there's depth instead of a flat contour. And then, well, you move the mouse. And this is where things get super expensive, because everything feels locked in. The mouse actually is glued to your hand, so fast clicks are immediate. Tracking and moving targets feel cleaner than what I'm used to. I'm used to 240 or even 360 hertz panel, but here, honestly, this is different. The difference between 360 and 500 hertz is not dramatic, but it's subtle. But if you are coming from a 60 hertz or a 144 hertz, this is an absolutely massive jump, because you're already on a high refresh monitor, but 500 is more than about refining that transformation. It's shaving milliseconds. It's reducing motion blur just a little bit more. It's tightening up responsiveness at extreme edge. And whenever that matter depends entirely how you play. If you are like me and you like grinding competitive titles like CSGO 2, Valorant, Overwatch, Apex Legends, Battlefield 6, running lower settings and pushing very high frame rates, this monitor just makes sense. And when your system is hitting 400 frames per second or more, you can actually take that advantage of what this panel is offering. Now, of course, on the other side, if you are more play cinematic, Forza Horizon, Cyberpunk, or many other games at 120 to 180 frames, it's fine. You're not using the 500 and the experience is still excellent, but you got headline that the feature is here and you don't actually use it. So that's the key. This monitor doesn't magically make you better. It just removes all the excuses, because the motion clarity here is something of the cleanest I have ever seen. QD-OLED responsive time are extremely fast, so there's basically no ghosting. When you whip the camera around, you don't see smearing trails. Fast movements stay super defined, and that's not just a spec advance, that's something you feel in real matches, in real competitive gaming. But now let's talk about, well, the whole physical monitor here, because it's a 27-inch 1440p. This is still in the sweet spot for competitive gaming. It's sharp without being demanding like a 4K monitor, but it keeps everything in your field of view without forcing head movement. So it's comfortable. It's just here in front of you. Perfect. And let me move towards the stand, because it's fully adjustable. We sound basic, but it really matters because you can set the height properly, tilt it, slide it, swivel it, everything you need. And once you got it dialed in, perfect for your gaming scenario, well, you just forget about it. And that's the good thing. And around the back, you do get two HDMI 2.1 ports and one DisplayPort 2.1, which means high-end PC gaming can run full performance. And if you still want to plug a console without compromising, you can do it. And in terms of how it looks, like HDR colors and gaming is solid as well. Bright highlights pop, dark areas stay deep, and it's not TV cinematic level HDR, but for competitive gaming, this monitor adds that depth without distracting from performance. But of course, we need to address the diminishing returns, because every jump in refresh rate gets smaller in impact. So when you leap from 60 to 144, I remember them days, is huge. 144 to 240 is very noticeable, to be honest, but 240 to 360 or 360 to 500 is, well, ever so slightly. So that doesn't mean it's fake. It just means like you are at the edge of what you humanize perception and how we're competitive can use. So most GPUs won't consistently push 500 frames per second and 40p in modern games. So for many players, these monitors had more headroom that they can realistically use. And that's the trick, because that headroom that we got here, that's something psychologically to your brain and when you're gaming, because when you are playing on this, you know that display is not the limitation. If you miss a shot, it's not because of motion blur. It's not because anything else. It's your reaction is slow. And there's something honestly powerful in the mind about that, because after using this monitor purely for gaming, here's the thing. 500 Hertz is not necessary, okay? For most competitive games, for any game, to be honest, 240, 360 Hertz is the smarter balance between performance and practicality. But if you're serious about competitive play, if you are chasing every millisecond and your system can actually fit all them frames to the monitor, this is one of the cleanest, the most responsive gaming experience you can put on your desk right now. Because it's not about the hype, it's about the headroom, as I said, and that's the reality on this. Well, on this one over here, you can just jump in, play any Apex Legends match or any type of competitive matches, and you're gonna have, well, you're gonna know that the problem is you, not the monitor. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been my quick, do you need 500 Hertz monitor? And this is the AOC AGON Pro AG276QKD2, an incredible QD-OLED 27-inch 1440p 500 Hertz monitor. Just let me know in the comment section below, do you actually need this monitor? Do you want this monitor? But nevertheless, guys, I'm CheCo. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one. Adios.